people who worked very hard on this. One of the people who worked especially hard on this is Kathy, right here, Kathy Niazimtov. She is our marketing coordinator and basically worked very hard on the website to get it to where it is today. Kathy is going to be doing the presentation, and once the presentation is over, we'll have a question and answer period, and we'll have additional members of our staff come up and answer any questions that you may have. So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Kathy. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kathy. Most of you probably have never met me. I tend to hide in the admin building and design a lot of hopefully pretty things. So today I am here to introduce you to your new website. And we are going to go through the public section of it as well as the private section. So it is going to be a pretty extensive presentation. But I do ask that you hold your questions until the end, and we will definitely be sure to answer all of them. And also, once I am done covering the website, before we do get to the Q&A portion, I will be covering the emails part of this as well, which is not directly tied to the website, but it is a change that we're making in conjunction with going live with the website. So let's get started. You've already seen the slide. So in redesigning any website, there are a number of things to consider, and I do want to cover this just in order to make it clearer why perhaps not all of the structure and information was carried over from the old website. So we did take a look at the structure of the old website, and we thought about how easy is it to navigate, and also the privacy aspect, what information needs to be private and what information could be public and perhaps serve a marketing purpose. We also took a look at the content. Is it current and is it relevant to you? Of course, the design, trying to make it more visually engaging, and then the function end of it. So is it user-friendly and what kind of a purpose is it going to serve? So we do have this new structure, which basically mirrors your old website of having the public website and then the member dashboard, as I'm going to call it, but that's really just your private end of your website. The public website is there to serve as a marketing tool. However, that does not mean that it's irrelevant to you. Actually, a lot of information on there is going to cover our amenities, and events, things that are available to you here in the community. It's just that those are the things that also a potential resident that's, could be living in Alaska right now might want to look at when deciding whether to move to this community. The member dashboard is there as your resource. So it's going to have information that is relevant only to you as a resident of this community. So let's take a look at a more detailed overview of the structure. The public portion of the website has information on our restaurants, entertainment, tickets, fitness, golf, clubs, education, nearby attractions, that's something we tried to bring in, amenities, and a community map. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. This is just an overview. The member dashboard has information in regards to SBHOA2 governance, your financial account, your personal profile, a member directory, also your e-forms, whether they're fillable or just downloadable, FAQs, Monday message, bulletin board. And again, this is not an exhaustive list, it's just an overview. So let's get started with the public website. Ooh. Alrighty, so many of you may have already visited our website. This is what it looks like on the home page. So I'm going to be going back and forth between the live version and the presentation just to tie things in and make it clearer for everyone. So before I get started on the presentation portion, I did want to just cover a few things. So on the homepage here, we do have our SBHOA2 logo. On the right-hand side here, you have several important things. You have your member login button, which is going to take you to the private section of the website, or as I call it, the member dashboard. You also have our main administrative office telephone number for your reference, as well as a link to our main Saddlebrook 2 Facebook page and YouTube channel. So let's just go back to the presentation and take it step by step. The first section that I would like to cover is restaurants. Now, in this section, the kind of information that you will find is going to be just an overview of dining at SBHOA2, also links to all 3 restaurants that we have, and then on each restaurant-specific page, we're going to have weekly newsletters that we're going to update every week for you. Also, information on upcoming events, specials, announcements. The menus are here for you as well. Hours of operation, and a new online feedback form, which is a very easy to use, simple Google form. It's only 4 steps long, basically. You put in your information and just your comments. It's not this long. So that's something new that we brought in. So just to give you a visual on this, this is the restaurants section. If you click on the word restaurants, you're taken to this overview page. You can navigate to any restaurant-specific page by clicking on one of these buttons, or you can just navigate from the menu itself. So let's say we wanted to view the bistro. We're going to come here, and here is our newsletter for the bistro. On this side, you can click on Learn More, 5th to 5th specials, upcoming events. And then, of course, we have other information, highlights, menus. The feedback form is right here. So if you click on this link, quick and easy form, then you are taken to that form. Let me just show it to you very quickly. So it's just very simple form that you can use to send us feedback on restaurants, and our restaurant managers will receive your feedback. Alrighty. So the next section that I would like to cover is entertainment. Now, basically, that's our Desert View Theater. So there's an overview here, also page links to a number of things that might be of interest to you, upcoming events, show tickets, the movie theater. So that takes you to the upcoming movies page of the DVPAC website. Also linked to our YouTube channel, Facebook, and the actual Desert View website. So just to show you, again, if you click on entertainment here at the top, you're taken to the overview. You can click on upcoming events, just learn more underneath to see our newsletter. Show tickets will take you to our regular showware website that you're used to. Movie theater will take you to the ticketing website. You can also navigate from the menu by clicking on tickets or Desert View to get to those pages. So the next section is going to be venues. And this is largely for perhaps an outside party that is looking to hold their event or wedding. But if you are looking to hold an event here, perhaps a birthday party or a special occasion, you can find useful information here. So there is an overview of our venues. There's links to 3 pages, banquets, meetings, and weddings. It's kind of broken down by those themes. And also you can find information in regards to the room capacity, if you're wondering, for every room, as well as contact information for our banquet manager, Liz, and room coordinator, CJ. So if you're looking for that, it's just easy access for that information. Again, you would go up here to the menu, to venues. If you just click on that link, you're taken to the overview page. You can click on these sub-pages for banquets, meetings, or weddings. You can also navigate from the menu. And if you scroll down, there is a description with the capacity for every room. Okay, and then we have our active lifestyle section. This is actually a really large section in the website. So we have our overview. We have fitness and wellness, which has a lot of information in there. So your monthly class schedule, you might think of it as the monthly calendar or newsletter. You've probably seen it in print. It is actually available here for you. Also information on new classes and workshops, personal training, and the sports complexes. So the Mountain View, Desert View, and the Preserve. Then we have information on golf, both of the golf courses. Also clubs. Now this is a club's overview. So on the public side of the website, you will not have the links to PDFs describing each club. However, that is available to you in your member dashboard, and I will show you that later. Also, adult education, so ILR and special interest classes. Saddlebrook Marketplace, we actually dedicated a page to them as well, and nearby attractions. So just to show you on the live website, this is the active lifestyle overview page right here. And then you can navigate using this menu. You'll see that especially fitness and wellness has a lot of sublinks over here. So nearby attractions, just want to show you really quickly, is a page where if you have anybody visiting, you can just go to this page and very quickly see all of the most popular attractions in the area. And they do actually have links to that specific attractions website if you wanted to get more information. Okay. And then we have amenities. So of course, an overview. Information in regards to our three major facilities, which is Mountain View, Desert View, the Preserve. Saddlebrook Libraries. The link is here. Arts and crafts rooms, pools, tennis and pickleball courts, softball field, dog park, and RV storage. If you're wondering about any of those amenities, you can definitely visit this section of the website. Again, if you click on amenities, you are taken to the overview page, and we do have Candy's interview here, which is very nice. You also have the community map available here, but the subsections are all in the top menu. So from this drop down, you can see all the different amenities and go to the specific pages. So the next, it's not really a section, but page I would like to visit is going to be community maps, just because I think it will be very useful to you in terms of the amenities portion of things. So we have an interactive Google map on this page, and I will show you in a second how that works. We also have image maps of each complex. We have floor plans for each facility, basically, on this page. So where that's located, now you did see under amenities overview, there is a community map here. It's actually also under about on the community map page. So here we have the interactive map, the image maps, and the floor plans available for you to view. And if you click on these, you can actually enlarge them and try to find perhaps the building that you're looking for, a specific tennis court. The way that the interactive Google map works is you do need to click on this little icon on the side. If you click on it, you get a menu. So for example, I'm gonna click on Mountain View Bistro. And I get the image of the restaurant. I also see where it's located on the map here. If I want to perhaps have directions of how to get here, I'm just going to click on this little directions icon. It loads Google Maps for me. So now I can enter my location and it will give me directions to this point. This is also really useful if you have anybody visiting and perhaps they're having trouble getting lost. You can just let them know if you go to the About Community Map portion of the website and use the interactive map, they can get directions to any amenity that we have here in our community. So just wanted to show you that feature. Alrighty, so let's go on to the member dashboard portion of the website. I'm going to cover this portion of the website more extensively because it does have a lot more functions. Now, the public portion that we just covered, there are a lot more pages to it than what we just saw. And I would definitely love for you all to explore those. Let us know of any feedback, if you would like to see something added. We would absolutely love to hear all of that Okay, so the member dashboard is the private portion of the website. So let's get started with logging in. Now, how many of you have already tried to log in to the website? Okay, so actually about half it looks like. Okay, so when logging in for the first time, you're going to be using your member number for both the member number field, which is kind of like your username, and the password fields. Now, if your reference point is your member ID, there's an extra letter on the end that needs to be removed. So we're going to just actually do this on the live version of the website in a second. And I'm hoping that all of you have, at least at home, this website guide, right? How many of you have the website guide? Okay, great. If you don't, Vince, who is sitting in the very back of this theater, has extra copies, so you're welcome to stop by and get one if for any reason you did not receive it in your mail too. Okay, so I am going to get my member number. Now, this is the number that I would see on my ID, and it has that extra letter on the end. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to go to our website. So how you would get to the private portion is by clicking on member login. And this is the first screen you see. You'll actually have all the directions here of how to log in for the first time. So what we do is we're going to type in our member number and then delete or just not type in that last letter. And then what we want to do is copy that number and put the same number in the password field. And you could say, remember me, if you'd like it to remember you. So we're going to sign in. Now, the first time that you're signing in, it might actually take a little bit. Ooh, that's not good. It didn't copy? Oh, okay. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm copying this. It would be better if I just type it, probably. Yeah, no, that one letter is okay. So A1 is okay, but what it said was A1A. So that last A, we want to remove. Also, another thing to keep in mind when you're typing these in is the letter is case sensitive. So if you have any letters in your member number, you need to make all of them capital. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So let's hope this works. All right, there we go. So this is the next screen that you will see. Please set up a new password. Now, I'm just going to go back to my presentation. Your password must be at least 6 characters long. It does not tell you this on the website. So I would like to just let everybody know. I did make sure to include that in the website user guide. I know that we all love using our birth date, pet's name, or perhaps our loved ones' names in the password. We would definitely strongly advise you to not go that route because basically that's really easy to hack. If somebody has access to any kind of information about you, that's pretty easy to guess. So we advise that you use perhaps an old telephone number in combination with a reversed version of somebody's name or something more difficult to guess. Also, another thing that it's going to ask us is to set up a security question. This, I would suggest that you set up something that is easy to remember because it is used when you're going to forget your password. And by the time you forget your password, which might be 4 years down the road, you might not remember the answer to your security question. So it's always better if that's a pretty easy one. So my password, now this account is, you probably see Jake fake. Jake is fake. So he can have any password really, but his password is going to be, oh, okay, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm sorry, my IT guy just advised me to not tell anybody. Okay, So it's secret. You don't know what it is. All right. And no, I'm not going to remember. But if you are on your personal computer at home, if you have your browser remember your password, it will actually make things really easy for you, because every time you log in, you just click through and it opens your member website. So this is our security question. So I'm going to write my own question, because that's a possibility. And I'm going to say, what's your favorite dessert? No, because I know I'm going to remember this, okay? My favorite dessert is chocolate. So I can't forget that. Okay. So voila, we are now inside of our member dashboard, i.e. private website. And this is the home page. So let me just return to my presentation here. So let's cover the member dashboard overview. We have two main sections in this dashboard. We have our top menu, which of course is going to be at the top of the page. The links there are home, which is going to take you to the private website's homepage. For the record, also Monday message, and we will cover this in detail a little bit later. Bulletin board, events, clubs. This is the other clubs page. Public site and the search bar. Then we have the side portion you'll see on the left-hand side, and that's called quick links. That's where you'll have all of your more detailed information about HOA2 and also your personal accounts. So you have HOA2 governance, my account, my profile, member directory, contacts, e-forms, FAQs, useful links, and website user guide, just in case it got lost, or if you'd like to print out a larger copy, you could actually download this PDF, and if you send it to your printer, everything is going to print much larger, so it's a lot easier to read. So if we go back to our member dashboard here, this is the top menu that we were just discussing. And this quick links on the side is the side menu. Okay, so let's start with the top menu. We have the home, which is going to return you to the member dashboard homepage. We have for the record, which is where you can download that publication as a PDF every month. So if you lost the physical copy or you're out of town and you're not getting it, you can download it here. Monday message is going to be a brand new section. I think that everybody's probably familiar with that email that we send out every Monday. So this is going to be a website version of that email, and you'll see that in a moment. We also have the bulletin board, which is the message board for communicating with other members. We have events. Now, events is just a quick link for you. It's for your convenience. It's only going to take you to the SBHOA2 website. It's not a part of the SBHOA2 website, and it's not a part of the member dashboard, but it's there for your convenience. If you're looking to purchase any tickets, you just click on events and you are going to land on the SBHOA2 ticketing site. Now, clubs on this private end, that list of clubs is going to include links to their websites and informational PDFs. The reason why we didn't include this on the public side is that there's a lot of information in those PDFs, and perhaps somebody doesn't want their personal email or phone number listed on a public website. If a scammer gets a hold of that email or phone number, they're going to start getting messages that they do not want to receive. So that's why we've kept it hidden on the private portion. And then lastly, on the very right-hand side, you'll see a link called public website. That's what's going to take you back to the portion that we just covered. So all of those public pages. Now, I do want to visit Monday Message in more detail because it is a brand new feature. So what we did is we set up Monday Message as a portion of your member dashboard to give you instant access to all of that information without having to scroll through your email box every time. Okay, where was that email? I think I didn't delete it, but maybe I did, to refer back to it, basically. So to see the main announcements, and I'll demonstrate this in a moment, you're just going to click on Monday Message at the top, and that's it. You'll see a list of your main announcements, just like you normally would in your email. To see department-specific announcements, you would click on the buttons underneath every picture. And then you'd see that department's announcement only. Now you can also navigate to those specific departments with the drop-down menu. So let's just see what that looks like. So this is your Monday Message section. If you click on Monday Message, you see Monday Message from this week, this Monday. Here are all of your announcements, including the links. Everything is there. You can download the files just like you would from the email. If you scroll down to these sections, for example, what do I want to learn about? I want to learn about events. And I click on that subsection, then I'm going to land on that specific page, that specific sections page, and I can learn about ticketed events only. One thing that we were trying to resolve with this kind of a format is that Monday Message email is really long right now. So you have the general announcements, and you have section, more information, section, more information, and so forth. So this way, you can access information that is only relevant to you and nothing else. You can just avoid having to scroll through all that extra information. You can access the specific departments up here in the drop-down menu as well. So if I wanted to learn about committee meetings, I go here, and here is my information about committee meetings. Now, you will still be receiving the Monday Message email every Monday. However, you will see that it's now structured differently, and what it's going to look like is basically like this page. So it will say, the date, new information, it will have your announcements, and underneath it, you'll see all of these links in the email itself. So you will not have all of that department-specific information in the body of the email. If you would like to learn more about what's going on in the fitness center this week, or golf, or what patrol is trying to broadcast, you would just click on that button, and that would link you to this website and that specific page. The only thing to keep in mind there is you will need to log in. So that's where having your login saved in the computer comes in handy, or on your phone, because then you're logged in already. So you wouldn't have to keep logging in. Ultimately, we're trying to make this information much more accessible to you, and also much more organized. All right, so that was Monday Message. Now let's also briefly cover the bulletin board. The bulletin board replaces your message board that's on the current website. How many of you use the message board currently? Nobody. Oh, one person. Okay, 2 people. And Damon and Jeff. Okay, so I do actually see activity on that message board. So I do think a few residents were using it actively. This is going to be a replacement for that. What you can do is you can post new threads, you can reply to posts, edit and delete your post. If you saw, oh no, I posted that, but actually never mind, I'm not selling that anymore, buying that anymore, not interested, you can delete it altogether. You can also subscribe to other members' posts. So you would get updates to your email every time they post something. And you can see the most recent posts. It's a more organized format. So the bulletin board is right here in your main menu. If you click on it, it loads right now. Oh, look, you already have 4 dining chairs for sale. And that is not us. So definitely and we can see how many views. This is a new feature. So you can see 8 people viewed that post. Now, that doesn't mean they all responded. Also, you can see 37 viewed the message board post and so forth. All righty. So moving on to the side portion of your member dashboard. So let's just quickly go back to your homepage to revisit where that's located. Okay, so it's going to be on the side here. We're going to just go from top down. So your quick links, or the side menu, contains information in regards to HOA2 governance. So that's where your board information is, financial reports, committees, governing documents, and so forth. A lot of information is contained in that section. My account is going to be where you find your financial account. You can access statements, credits, account summary, make a payment, your fitness credit book, and you can adjust your statement delivery settings there. My profile is where you're going to be able to edit your profile, billing addresses, change your password. Now that's if you remember your password, and we will visit that portion. View dependents, and also change your member directory settings. Member directory is a listing for HOA2 members. And then contacts is where you'll find urgent phone numbers, staff information. E-forms are all the fillable and printable forms that you use in our community. FAQs, of course. Useful links is a list of external links that we carried over from the old website. So things like the photo gallery on SmugMug, the link to that would be contained in the useful links section. And then, of course, the website user guide. So let's start with your My Account portion. Now, this section, as I just mentioned, is going to contain all of your financial information. So we're going to go step by step through each of the subsections. So member charge statements provides access to your statements. It's exactly what the name states. So member charge basically means anything you charge to that member card. Property dues statements are your property dues, POA dues. We've referred to it with many names, but it all refers to the same thing. Also, of course, it's going to contain any special assessments. Your current account summary is a breakdown of all transactions and dues that posted since last statement. So your statements are like paper statements. They went out. Anything that posted since that occurred is going to appear in the current account summary section. There's also a make a payment section. Now you are able to make a payment on your member charge statements. The property dues or POA statements are not currently payable online through this system. It is under development with North Star, but that feature is not currently available. Also, we have our credit book, which is your fitness credits, and then statement settings. So basically your delivery settings for statements. So let's start with member charge statements. So I'm just going to go ahead and come back to my live account here. So I am Jake Fake, and here is my statement. Now, Jake Fake did not spend any money in January. And in fact, Jake Fake didn't really spend any money in December or November, which is why it's all zero. However, in my presentation, I do have a more realistic version of what you would see here with your statements. So up at the top where I was just clicking on January, December, November, you have your previous statements available. You can just click through those. If you reach the end of those green buttons, you can just click on previous and it will take you back further. On the right-hand side, so over here, you have a print statement button. If you click on that button, it's not just going to print your statement. What it does is it downloads a PDF to your computer, and then you can print that PDF or you could just save it. Then below that section, we do have our transaction details. So here we have a balance forward. It looks like we made a payment, we ate at Mesquite. Now, if you click on this little blue portion with the numbers, which is your basically check ID, you can actually see the transaction details of that payment or charge that you made. So it's sort of like a receipt online. And then below it, we have our account aging section. This section is important because it does let you know if you have any past due balances. So it will tell you this balance is over 30 days, this balance is over 60 days, over 90 days, and so forth. It is going to be helpful in staying current with your account. The one thing to keep in mind is that where it says current balance, that is not your actual current balance this moment. So if you made any charges or any payments after this statement closed, they are not going to be reflected in this number. So it's just the same as any kind of a paper statement you would get in the mail. That number does not change just because you make a payment after the fact. And then lastly, you can make an online payment. You could access that specific page by clicking on this Make Payment button or by going to that section in your Quick Links menu. Okay, so the next section is going to be our property dues statements. So let's just go to the live website, and this is my account. Oh, did I click on it? So Jake Fake actually does have property dues. So he lives at 123 Nowhere Land. And this is going to be his February statement. And here are his dues. So I can see all of the details of my dues here and what my ending balance is and the fact that it's a current balance. So I am not past due. There is no make payment on this screen. So you will not see an option to make a payment there. So as I just mentioned, you do have all of your details here. If you do click on this little red icon, you can actually see the details of that charge. Account aging, as we just visited, does give you that past due balance, and the current tab does not reflect any payments that you made on your property dues since this statement closed. So if you made a payment after the fact and you're not seeing it here, don't panic. We have it. It's just not showing on your statement. Online payments are not available. However, they are under development, so we're definitely hoping to have that feature available in the future. Okay, so the last section of your financial account, as far as charges go, is going to be your current account summary. Now, this is a more recent view of the charges and payments that you've made. So everything since the statements closed, both of the statements, is going to show in this screen. Now for Jake Fake, oh, okay, he actually does have some current charges and credits. So it looks like what happened was since the statement closing date, the charges were made. Okay, and he went to the Mesquite restaurant as well, but he did not make any payments. So you will see a more up-to-date view on this page. If you're wondering whether we've received your payment or not, definitely do go to current account summary and you should see it there. You can also print your summary by clicking on the print button at the top right, which is going to download the PDF, and then you can print it or save it. And then as I did just show you on the live version, if you click on that red icon, the details come up and you can see your transaction details there. Okay, so now we do get to the making a payment section. As I just mentioned, this is for your member charges. It is not for your property dues. So let's just go to the live website, and this is our make payment page. So the first thing that we have to do is we do need to set up a payment type. Right now it's blank. There are no accounts that are set up. The only payment type that is available here is going to be an ACH payment. So that basically means it's your checking or savings account. You cannot use a credit card here. And ACH stands for payments that are electronic payments made through the automated clearinghouse network. And that's just a nationwide network that everybody uses. So you can use your checking or savings account here. You would just complete the form with the information on your check, and then you would save, definitely click save at the bottom, otherwise it will not save into the system. You can also select whether this is a default account or not. Now, one important thing to mention is that if you are a member that is a dependent or a member in the household elected to receive a single statement for your household, the dependent member will not have access to this make payment feature. So do keep that in mind. If you don't see it in your profile or in your account, that's why. Okay, so this section I unfortunately will not be able to show live because I would have to enter in, somebody's check information. And I don't think I'm going to get a volunteer. So we'll just proceed as if it was done. And this is a screenshot of an actual account where we do have an account saved. So this is a Chase account. We've blocked out the numbers for security reasons. So what you would do is you would first select the account, then select the schedule date, and only then go up to the make payment button at the very top. It's very counterintuitive. We're used to kind of going top to bottom. You have to go bottom to top to process this payment. So the window that you would see afterwards is this approve payment window. You have a chance here to review your information, including the payment and the amount, and you can either approve or cancel it. If you click approve, that's it. It goes out. All right. So that was our pages financial. Credit book is also a different part of your financial account, but it really relates only to fitness. So if you do purchase any fitness credits, this is where you would see that information. So here, and this is a live account for Jake Fake, he has purchased $49 in fitness credits. He actually used $14 worth, so they took 2 classes, or it was actually 1 class with his wife. And her name is Jane Fake. And then $10 worth expired, and then we see the remaining amount. So actually, you know what? I think this is, we were doing all of this manually, so please don't take this too hard because we were crediting this amount and we were trying to expire it. So you would not normally see expired credits. This is just basically for our use only that we put this into the system. So what the section that you would refer to see if you do have any money remaining to go ahead and take a fitness class is going to be the remaining credits right here. So the other thing that we can do is we can actually view details of all the issued credits. So if I go ahead and click on view details, I can see all the transactions that took place, and you will see exactly why there's a little bit of a confusion with the issued and expired credits. So just go ahead and ignore that part. We just made it more difficult than it needed to be. But basically, you will see any credits that you've purchased and used and so forth. Okay. All right. The last section under My Account is going to be your statement settings. This page is where you can opt for paper delivery of your statement, electronic delivery of your statement, or both, or even a do not send. Now, if you are going to opt for your electronic statements, you do have the option of having them delivered to your primary email, secondary email, or your billing email. Now, this is very good because it's alerting me that I don't have a secondary email. So I'm choosing it as an option for delivery for my billing statement, but I actually don't have it on file. So before I can choose it in my profile, and we'll get to that section next, and then I save it there, and then I could come back here and choose my secondary email. So, and I do have a billing email, so. Alrighty. So as I mentioned, you do have the option of having them delivered both via email and paper delivery. It does apply to both your proper member charge statements, whatever option you choose here. So the notes on the bottom here just refer to where you would edit specific email addresses. They are broken up into two sections. Your primary and secondary email is under view profile. Your billing email is under billing email, or edit billing addresses. Okay, so now the second large section in your member dashboard is going to be My Profile. You can view your profile here, including your phone numbers, fax, primary, secondary email, photo. Edit your billing addresses. You can also view your dependents here. However, you cannot edit any information for your dependents. You can change your password, and you can adjust your settings for the member directory. So let's just take it step by step. The view profile page, and this is a screenshot of Teresa's profile, is going to look like this. Now, if you looked at Jake's profile, and it's located right here just below the My Account section, he actually doesn't have a lot of information. So his email is John Doe, and it's, his marital status is actually unknown. So, but that is his photo, if anybody was wondering. So this page is additional information that is a part of our back office North Star database. Go into this section, you do see incorrect information. Please do click on the edit button and go to the edit screen to correct any information that is in these white fields that can be edited. If you see any information in a grayed out field that is incorrect, that actually cannot be edited via this website, because that is your basic profile information. If you do believe that it's incorrect, or you know for certain, please contact our administrative offices. So all edits on this page that you make are actually immediately. And that is a little bit, how should I put it, hard to understand, because actually all of the changes need to be approved by the administrative offices first. So you will see an immediate change on the website, but just keep in mind that they can get reversed. If they do get rejected for any reason, and our wonderful admins, Diane and Adele, will get a hold of you if they're rejecting anything for any reason. But if they do get rejected, your changes will be reversed. So just keep in mind that they're not permanent changes until approved. And that just takes up to 72 hours for our admin office to approve those. Okay, so let's just go through this on the live website. So if I wanted to edit any of Jake Fake's information, I would click on this edit button right here. I can actually change his photo from here, or my photo if this was me. I could delete it, I could upload a new photo, but that would have to be then approved by the administrative offices, the new photo. I can also change the marital status, occupation, employer. I cannot change my gender on this screen. Just in case anyone was wondering. I can also change my business phone, cell phone, home phone, emails. You'll notice there's no address here because that's in the next section. I cannot change my member number or when I became a member and my member type and so forth. So what I would do is basically, if I had a new home phone, and let's say my home phone was 520-999-9999, I would just put it right in and I would click save right here, and then it goes through. Now I do see it right here. So it did take an immediate effect, but this still needs to be actually validated in the North Star database by our administrative staff. And here is my dependent, my lovely wife, Jane Fake. So I can actually view her profile. Okay, so the next section is going to be edit billing addresses. And we were just here, so I would click here. And again, this is our main office address. But if I thought this was incorrect, I would click on edit. I can change my billing, change my billing address, which is basically your mailing address. And I can also change my billing email here. And again, these changes do need to be the admin office because permanent. So we are getting close to the end of this portion of the presentation. I know it's very long, so thank you for bearing with me. So we do have our member directory. We have contacts, e-forms, FAQs, useful links. I'm actually not going to cover those. So if you do have any questions after you navigate to those sections, definitely feel free to use our helplines. But the section that we're going to go now is going to be change password. Now, this is only doable if you know your current password. So let's say you've been using the same password 2, 3 for years and you decided it's not very secure and you want to change it. This is for that purpose only, not if you forgot it. So what you would do to update it is you need to enter your current password in, and then you can create your new password and retype it and click update. So if you do not remember your current password, you do need to log out all the way out of this website and use the forgot password steps, which we'll also cover. So lastly, under my profile, we have this my settings, my directory settings section. And in here, right now, I have everything selected. So Jake Fake just wants the world to know about him, basically. But let's say I actually don't want anybody to know my business phone or my employer or my occupation or my primary or secondary email, really, or fax or phone. I can hide all of that. I could also hide my dependent. I don't want anybody to see that. Or if I would really like to be very private about all of this information, I can just click on hide profile. If this is checked off, it honestly, regardless of whether these checkboxes are here or not, your profile will be hidden. You just need to make sure to click save. If you do not click save, and if you don't get this successfully updated message, you have not made any changes. So this is where you can control what others will see in the member directory section. Now, one of the things that we actually have been notified about as far as feedback about this new website is it looks like the dependent members are not currently searchable in this member directory section. We are working with North Star to resolve this issue. So we absolutely want every single member to be searchable in this member directory. It was never our intention to make only the primary members searchable. So thank you for bearing with us, and we'll definitely get it resolved. Again, as a reminder, just to let you know, this member directory is only visible to SBHOA2 members. So it is not visible to the world. It's not visible to the public. And you can limit the information or just hide your profile altogether. So forgot password. We just mentioned this. Let's say you just forgot your password altogether. You could be logged into the website because you saved it to your computer, or you could be logged out. You just can't get in. So what do we do? So let's just go through these steps. We're gonna log out all the way. And it takes us back to the public website when we do log out. So we do need to click on member login again to get to this page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on forgot password. It's a very small link underneath sign in. And this is what I would see. It would ask you for your member number, and you also need to enter this text verification. That this is actually a protective piece. It protects those automatic robots that live on the internet from accessing our website, basically. Because what they could do is they could send a robot and it would keep trying and trying and trying to guess your member number, and eventually it would get it because it would do so many tries. So this piece actually protects us from that ever happening. So what you would need to do is look at this box and say, okay, it says 8347. That's all you need to do. If these numbers are not very legible, just click on these little arrows and it will give you a different set of numbers. You can do that as many times as you'd like to get a set of numbers that you can't see. And then you would click next. So let me just show you on this screen. So once we click next, what we would get is this little screen that says, okay, forgot password. A new password will be sent to your email, whichever email is shown right here, if you can correctly answer your security question. This is why I am suggesting that your security question is not very difficult, because again, if it's 3 years down the road, well, you probably would remember what school you went to in 3rd grade, but, or not. So you actually answer your security question. It is the correct answer once it's in there, and you click on the send password reset link button, you will receive an email at this email address. Just follow those steps. They're really simple, and you will be guided back to a screen where you can enter in a new password, and voila, you will have your new password. So, with all of this information, if you get stuck anywhere or you get to a portion of this website and it just doesn't seem to be working, you're following all the right steps, but something's wrong, we do have helplines. So the first help would be your website and member profile questions. These are general how-to questions or missing information. So you get to a page and you think there is, for example, clubs, there's a club that's missing from that page. This is the email that you would send that question or request to. If, on the other hand, you have a question in regards to your account, fitness credits, you would send that question to this email, statements@sbhoa2.org. Lastly, if there is a technical issue with the website, so it's not loading, or you click on something and you get an error code instead of the page actually loading, so it's not working right, then you would want to report those issues to tech support at SBHOA2. This only for features of the website that are not working. So if there is anything that's missing, please do send that to web support instead. Okay, we're almost there. We have covered the entire website. The very last bit of my presentation is the new Saddlebrook 2 emails and the new way to manage your email subscriptions. As I did mention, this change is happening concurrently with the website going live. So beginning March 1st, which is today, you are actually subscribed to all of our new email lists. This is due to the fact that we have changed to a much more updated email client or an email system. So in order to make this change possible, we needed to have all of you subscribe to everything. And from there, you are definitely free to just take yourself off of any lists that do not interest you at all. So what we have is clubs and groups, dining, fitness, golf, HOA1 happenings, HOA2 general communications, Monday message, theater and events, HOA2 communications. So I will show this to you as in a live example, but what you would need to do in order to change your email subscriptions is just click on this unsubscribe my email link at the bottom of the first email that you receive from us, and that should be tomorrow. So you would just scroll all the way down and click on this unsubscribe link. Now, what will happen once you click on open, and that page is going to default to unsubscribe me from all mailings, everything. So you want to stop there for a second. Because what we're used to, and I'm the same way, I just see, okay, unsubscribe, I scroll down, I click the button, that's it. And I think, okay, I just unsubscribed from clubs. No, everything, all HOA2 messages. So if you keep this default selection, unsubscribe me from all mailings, it will unsubscribe you from all HOA2 communications. There's a very small caveat of true emergency and mandatory board communications. Everything else you'll be unsubscribed from. So if you did not mean to do that, that is not what you're intending to do. What you would actually need to do is go down to this second option right here, and maybe it's a little bit difficult to see. It's right here. I wish to continue receiving occasional mailings based on my interest. So you would just change this selection to right here. And then you would see that list that I just covered, so clubs and groups, dining, etc. You would just uncheck the square box next to any list that does not interest you. And then at the very bottom, click Update Profile. That's it. You have now managed your email subscriptions. You don't need to log into anything. You can access this menu at any time by going to the unsubscribe link at the bottom of any email you receive from us. So the one question that I might ask is, well, how do I know if this email is coming from dining or clubs and groups? I mean, some of them are obvious, but some of them are less obvious. How do I know if it's a part of urgent HOA2 or general communications? What we will do to make that very clear is at the bottom of every email, we will have a statement that says this email was sent as a part of this specific list. So this email is a part of dining. This email is a part of clubs and groups. And that way, if that specific type of email doesn't interest you, you just uncheck that box. So just to review the types of communications that we send several different types of communications that might be a little bit confusing. So the general communication, an update on waste management, or new staff, welcome. An urgent HOA2 communication is road work, renovations, pool closures. That's more urgent. Both of these can be managed via the process that I just showed, and I will also show it on the live version as well in a second. However, if it's an emergency mandatory, such as emergency building closure, something is on fire, there is a water main break, these will be sent out through our main database in Northstar to all of HOA2. The way to manage your subscription to that is through the website. And basically the only way to manage that is by taking off your email on the website. So what we just covered in my profile, where you could change your primary or secondary email or take it out, you would just go ahead and remove your email from those sections. Your primary email is what we would generally use. So if you remove it, or just remove secondary as well and retain your billing, then you would not receive communications. They do tend to be of great importance, as well as the urgent communications on the email end on the this previous email subscription list. The urgent communications are also of importance in this community. They're not just for general information. So we do highly recommend that you stay subscribed to those, as well as Monday Message. However, if you wish to not be subscribed to Monday Message, you can still access it through the website to receive that email. So just to show you a live example of this. So this is my empty email that I received from Saddlebrook 2, and this is exactly what it's going to look like. News from Saddlebrook 2. Now, one thing you will notice is our email address has changed. It's now going to say news@sbhoa2.ccsend.com. This is not spam. This is us. That is going to be our new path. So what I would do is I would, of course, have content here, but I would scroll down to where it says unsubscribe Kathy, and I would click on this link, and it should open. Oh, isn't working? Oh no! It worked when I was testing it. To refresh this page. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to be able to show it live, because what I tried to do is I pulled up an email as a separate window, and I thought that that was going to work, but okay. Let me open my email. So bookmarks. Let's see, mail. And I actually have to search Saddlebrook. Okay, news from Saddlebrook 2. Okay, so this is my actual email. So I have my email, and I would scroll down to unsubscribe right here. Okay, right there. So what it would do is it would pull up this new window that we just saw. So see how it defaults to unsubscribe? You would want to change to this. I wish to continue receiving occasional mailings. And now I have the option to select any groups that I'm not interested in. So let's say I don't want to do clubs, and maybe theater and events isn't interesting, but I think it is actually. So I'll keep it. And that's it. I'm just going to click on update profile, and it's going to update, and that's it. It says thank you. Your comments have been recorded, but what it's trying to say is your preferences have been updated. That's what it's saying. So that would be the subscription management piece. All righty. So that concludes my very long presentation. Thank you so much for sticking through it. Now we will have our Q&A session. So if you do have a question in regards to anything that I just covered or anything else on the website that you've noticed, we would like to request that you come up to the mics located on either side of our theater, and I'll have my panel come up to the stage, and we will be more happy to answer. You probably need light. Ruslan, can you lights? You need lights? I'll stay here. Or I can actually, you know what, let me just come join you.
Hello. One question.
Yes, let's just wait just a second. I think he forgot to turn on the mic.
It's on.
So, oh, is it on?
Okay.
Okay.
On the directory,
Yes.
I noticed because I put my phone, my smartphone, I signed in. When I go and search a name, it's great if everybody wants me. But it comes up under my name, my wife does not show up.
Right.
Now, you might want to talk to me, but more than likely, you'd rather talk to my wife. So is there anything you can do to put both of them up?
Yes. So that was the part that I was referring to when I said we're trying to work with North Star, or we are working with North Star right now to resolve it. That is absolutely the part. So what's happening is because your wife is a dependent member, she's not showing on that member directory search result.
She
And that
shows
is
under the
not,
profile.
I'm sorry?
She shows under my profile.
Right. She shows under yours, but she doesn't have her standalone profile, right? And that's what we want to resolve because that is not the way we meant to have it. So absolutely, we will get that taken care of.
Thank you for her.
No problem. All right, let me just go ahead and join my wonderful panel here.
I've attempted a couple of times to enter a new password, and no matter what I do, capital letters, small letters, numbers, I haven't been able to get past the enter a new password. What can I do to correct that?
There's been I've had a few of those today, even. Let me get your name and number before, or at least your name, and I'll reset your password. I don't know, there is a little glitch on some people, the password's not working, so I reset it and it's working fine. So just let me get your name before you leave,
Okay.
and I'll get you fixed up.
Other question is, my wife and I both have different numbers, passwords or cards, identification cards. Do we both have to log in separately to the system? You do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So my question is also on the address book. My husband and I both have a cell phone, and so on the front page, it shows up nothing for phone number. It is only showing, when I scroll through all of the things, it looked like the home phone is the only one that'll show.
Yes.
Is that expected to be repaired as well?
So that is actually a setting. When we initially discussed what information do we default to with Therese, we defaulted to showing phone only for privacy reasons.
But if I look at the profile, it has everything checked as show.
Okay, oh, I see what you're saying. So on the small result, it only shows it doesn't show any number, but in the detailed section, you have it checked off.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you look down that phone book, because phone book's the thing I use the most. If you look down the phone book, the only things that are showing are home phone.
Right, and that is a setting, as I just mentioned, so that is something that we could possibly adjust. It's very easy. We could add cell phones to that as well, to the main result.
You would, but then you, as an individual, if we do add cell phone as an option to show, then you as the member need to go to where Kathy was showing you to decide and either click or unclick that you do or don't want your cell phone to show.
Right. Right. So essentially what we were trying to do is, because we knew that initially everybody wouldn't necessarily access website in the first, half going live. Is the battery dying? Okay. Hello? Okay. So what we wanted to make sure is has a chance to log in and adjust their settings before all of that information would just, be easily seen by everyone. And you are right. If everyone clicks on a specific member's profile right now, they can see that other information. But we were just trying to make it more hidden, to make it more protected, to give everyone time to log in and adjust their settings. But we can change it, absolutely.
May I ask one more question on the phone book?
Yes.
On the old phone book, the intent was that the phone book would allow me to find the phone number of anybody in Saddlebrook. So we actually had HOA1, phone 163 phone numbers that were from HOA1. Those are all gone. Is there any intent to allow us to be able to find other members of the community?
We don't, okay. No, we can, but it would only be those HOA1 members who have opted in to come in and get a member card.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm not a computer geek. How do I get to the website to begin? Do I go to the old website and it's going to tell me? Okay.
Actually, the old website, it's not there. Any new website now. Current website, it's a new website.
So it's the
There is no
member.
more old website.
So if you go to the same place that you always went to for the old website, you'll see the new one. And then you would just click on, on the right-hand side, the button that said member login.
Uh-huh.
You would just click on that button.
Okay.
And
The other
that's it.
question, my husband and I have different cell numbers, different email numbers. Are we different accounts then? We each
Yes.
do our own, because we have
Yes.
two separate computers then.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Similar topic. My husband and I have requested one electronic statement for our member charges. And it's currently being mailed to my email address. And I am the secondary, obviously. He's the primary. So I, as the secondary, don't have a make payment option to pay that member charge statement?
So if you are set up as a secondary member or a dependent member, you do not have the option to make payment. And I don't know if Adele, do you want to take this question in terms of changing who's primary and secondary, or?
Yeah, I can, if you get a hold of me or I get your name and number, I can get that fixed for you. I just need to know specifically where you want it going and, all that, and I can get it set up. So,
Well, I think I did that once already with Susan in the admin office.
okay, well,
So
I
she has
need
the
to-
statement coming to me because
Uh-huh.
I'm the one who makes charges on my
Right.
card, and I'm the one who
Right.
authorizes the payment.
okay,
But as a secondary homeowner, I can't
you can't make the payment.
do the
on
make
that.
payment step. So do we
Oh.
have to change it back to sending it
That
to
I don't
Ken's
know.
email address so he can make the payment for my charges?
So We can do basically solutions. We could either make you the primary member, and then you would have access to the make payment option, or he would have to go through his account or just open his account for you, or you could even just get his password and and you could make a payment that way.
Are there other consequences to changing who is the primary?
I know they do, but what she's saying is as the secondary, when she's on the web, she can't make the payment. So no, there's absolutely no difference. As long as you are both on the deed, then it doesn't matter which one of you is primary or secondary. And in fact, we have a number of instances where if homeowners are married but have, well, actually it didn't even matter if they're married, if they're jointly, but let's say they are married, but they have different last names. When it got loaded into North Star, it just was a matter of whose last name was first in alpha order that put who's primary or secondary, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, my name's Mike Harris. Under the personal information, I know that you're working on that and trying to get that out, but it looks like the information for me and my wife is a mix of the two. For instance, it shows me as being a female, and the last time I checked, I wasn't. So is there some way for whom do I contact to, I can't track. Okay.
Yes, so as we covered, you cannot change your gender. And we do apologize for that. That is just a part of the back office, and it sounds like it was the selection was made wrong to female versus male. So if you do contact either that web support line or directly our admin office, Diane and Adele, they can change that for you.
And just so you know, when Kathy covered the Help Me area with those email addresses, it is on the back page of your directory so that you have access to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
It's not clear to me, do my wife and I have one account or do we have two accounts?
So you have two accounts, combined or separate for your member charges?
We just have one bill coming for the member charges.
Okay, so if it's one bill, then your billing is most likely combined. And if you're the primary member, then you can make payments on it.
Neither of us are the primary member, and that's my concern. I mean, we have different cell phones, we have different email addresses. You know, I really find it offensive that you've got a system here that one person is considered more important than the other person in a marriage.
Well, that's definitely not the way we intended it, and I do understand where that's coming from is the verbiage. Does anybody know why it was set up that way? It was primary and secondary in the North Star. It's just, okay, it's North Star's system. Okay. But just to make it clear, both the quote unquote primary and quote unquote secondary member do have their own separate account. It's just that if your billing is combined, then only the primary member can make payments. If it's not combined, both of you can make payments on your own bill.
And just to go back, last year when we did all the member onboarding and you sat down either in the large room where we were doing it en masse or later, you were asked a series of questions. Boom, 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 boom. Do you want this? Do you want that? Whatever. And you may have made a choice at that time that you now say, well, that's really not working, or that's not what I want. That's where you can now go back into the member directory and say, well, we each want our own statement. We don't, et cetera, et cetera.
Will you be making it so that you can use a credit card to pay your bill?
That's a board policy that we have not addressed yet. The reason we are have not gone there yet is, of course, we pay 3 to 4% of a fee, and so it hurts the HOA. But that may be something the board changes.
Thank you.
Do we have any further questions? All right, thank you.